Hi, my name is Ed Fullman. I am CEO of Foxtrot Code. Thank you very much for taking a few minutes to view this video. This is one of a series to introduce you to Foxtrot Code. And what I'm going to do for 4 slides is walk you through the process in under 15 minutes of why you should use Foxtrot Code, what the value is, at a high level how it works, and then that'll prep you for demonstrations and other videos that we've provided in this series. So to get started, Foxtrot Code is an online service, an online platform, as you know. It's accessed through a browser, and it provides you the ability to create algorithms that are enterprise scale, and then to be able to distribute, collaborate with others, put them into production hosting. And then if you're an entrepreneur or you have entrepreneurial aspirations as an organization, possibly monetize parts of your algorithm to the larger community. That's all included. And it starts with a free tier that you may have already signed up for that enables you to get access to this capability, and then paid subscriptions which give you more capabilities and ultimately can lead to production. So let's get on the same page about what an enterprise scale algorithm is, because that's what you're going to be creating on Foxtrot Code. So if you look up the definition for algorithm, you'll find multiple references, but on Wikipedia and a few other sources, it's an end-to-end software application from data access through functions being applied to data output. It is not just the functions, which other types of platforms provide. So at Foxtrot Code, we've been working for some years to create a platform that is capable of accessing the data where it sits today in the data sources that the data sits in, and extract it, move it into algorithmic functions in real time, process it, then reformat it, get it ready for some downstream process, and then output it into those same or other kinds of output destinations, target destinations for the data, so that it can be used. So this end-to-end capability is what you'll be building on Foxtrot Code. Even a simple algorithm will be able to do this. Algorithmic development on Foxtrot Code is very quick compared to what you've probably seen before, mainly because there are steps that we've taken to dramatically simplify how it's done. So just to walk you through a little bit about data access, we can take data from structured and unstructured sources right out of Cloudera Hadoop clusters and other kinds of Hadoop clusters, out of SQL databases at the table level when we see a new record being laid down. We can pull it from streaming APIs like Twitter, which is an example on the platform today. You can see tweets coming in at 100 a second and being made available to you. We have hundreds of millions of them available for you to analyze. Underneath our platform is Splunk. We're powered by it, so we use Splunk as a chassis to run this data through. Splunk gives us access to a variety of different kinds of commands that you don't have to be able to do yourself. We do it for you, but that's underlying the product, and it provides data sources. And then just files and directories and log files coming out of machines, listening to ports, all that's possible to get data in. Once it's in, we have simplified algorithmic development down to 3 major functional areas: reduction, refactoring, and reformatting. Reduction is, as it sounds, reducing the data set, constraining it by time and keywords and other kinds of factors to get down to only the useful data you want, combining multiple data sets together in that way, and producing the ability to get to the next step, which is refactoring, where you would normalize and pull it all together, run statistical processes, over 100 commands that do things like correlation and other kinds of data manipulation, machine learning commands that fit models and then apply them, all sorts of different functions that you can explore. And then on top of that, a series of functions designed to directly evaluate data, such as some statistics, trigonometry, time manipulations, and even cryptographic manipulations, so that you can refine the data down to something that's going to be valuable. And then in the last step, reformat it into what's needed by the output destination and the downstream process. So that could mean like formatting data into a table for some type of histogram, or a single list like a pie chart. It's about producing the data so that the downstream process, such as running some type of underwriting process or something like that, could be fed by your algorithm. So whether you're in the manufacturing industry or the insurance industry or the healthcare industry, all of this produces the result. So then you can then output and store it in these various positions and make it available through interfaces like ODBC, which would enable you to pull it into Excel or Power BI or Tableau or some other kind of ODBC compliant environment, or use a CSV file, a very common way to get data from one system to another, back into those same kind of interfaces. Visualization tools like Cardo for mapping, for things like TIBCO Spotfire or MicroStrategies, where you're trying to like look at data in summarized form. All that can be produced as output. You can even go from CSV into graph databases and into the next level, AI, where you would be able to use the data that you've refined for a process that needs to understand the structure, the relationship. So getting it into that position and into that format is what you would do with the algorithm. So what's the problem we're solving? I mean, why can't you just do that on your own? Well, if you're 1% of programmers, which is what a survey recently done by Stack Overflow indicates, if you're 1% of programmers that has the knowledge to be able to do all that, you don't need Foxtrot Code. You're probably employed and you're highly valued, because under 1% of programmers have this. McKinsey estimated some years ago that by 2020 there would be 2 million open positions, and there's essentially no way for us at this point to educate or outsource our way out of this problem. The resources are too scarce. So just like about 16 years ago, when we were looking at websites and having the same kinds of problems putting websites together, Mark Andreessen came out with a company called LoudCloud in 2000, which gave us the ability to push button our way to website deployment. It was one of the first applications in that regard. Today, Foxtrot Code is doing the same thing that he was trying to solve for websites, but we're doing it for algorithms. So what we're trying to do here is push down this scarcity of resource problem, which is about skills, lowering the skills level barrier so that more people can participate. And the problems that we're getting off the table are complex infrastructure that's very hard to set up and manage, complex coding languages that were either designed for algorithmic development or not, and they've just been adapted and making them more complex. Multiple platforms where you're going to have to get data out of and get data back into. Teams separated by silos of technology, which make it hard for them to cooperate. And then last but not least, data itself, which can be regulated. It can be unlawful to use in an analysis unless you're approved. You could be violating a criminal law or a civil law through PCI violations and other things that would leak private data out. So what we're doing with Foxtrot Code is we're sweeping that off the table. We're making the skills level barrier low enough that people with basic experience with Excel macros and maybe working with codeless development environments like Squarespace or Wix or Tumblr or something like that, any experience at all in programming will completely qualify you to use our product. It's codeless. It is one platform that lets you pull all this capability together, and then on top of it, it's codeless. So a codeless development platform where you're just manipulating visual objects and you're configuring them without any actual coding to do. A marketplace that has a series of tools that are designed to help you collaborate and distribute and monetize and move things from development to production. No servers are set up. Instead of spending months getting your servers set up and the software right and then keeping them and maintaining them, we've given you a run button to basically push. A data simulator, which enables you to get past the data regulation problems by simulating data sets and working with simulated data sets versus live data sets where there's a lot of liability. And then modular algorithms that can be chained together into long chains, and you'll see this in the demonstration, so that you don't have to build everything yourself. You can reuse something that a colleague built in your organization, or you can reuse something that was built by somebody in the community that you don't even know. But their comments say that they're highly regarded. So with all that value, we're facilitating a process where from end to end, you can upload your data. You can develop your algorithm on our codeless platform, get it the way you want it, test it and refine it, combine things together from other people, make sure it all works, build a proof of concept in this online subscription environment, get buy-in from whoever you need to get buy-in from, and then put it in production, host it in production, either with us through a subscription for a production 24/7 available system that's going to work with live data, or we can host something privately for you on our cloud, on your cloud, or on your premise to make it work for you. We can even give you a whole version of the entire system that you can use privately on your own boxes or hosted privately by us in the cloud. All sorts of options are available. So with this, let's go forward and take a look quickly at how this all comes together. So we've offered you a free tier, which you've probably taken advantage of. This gives you most of the capability to build the algorithms you want. The paid subscriptions enable you to bring live data into the platform and perform operations to get data out of the platform. And then you can migrate up towards some of these upgraded services which are available to you, like managed services and private hosting. So with that, let's go off to the demos and the other parts of the introduction. Thank you very much for your time. We'll see you out there.